Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to some more NGS action. Tonight, I am running my first replay of the season. All the matches have just been snatched up this coming week, which is awesome to see. But for those of us who typically cast in the evening, not much is available. So there's a lot of games that went uncast this season. So I'm just going to go back and try and get one of those during my typical cast times, see what I can find out. My name is Icex. I am bringing you tonight a great matchup this last week between two top heavyweight teams in the Division East standings. My own actual division. We got, I believe it's the number 1 and number 2 team going at it tonight. It's going to be Brickhouse going up against the Devil's Rejects, both having very strong series. I believe each team only dropping one series so far apiece. Trying to remember who Brickhouse lost against. I think it was like wait till 10. They may have lost against Devil's Rejects. I think they lost to Rise and Grind, if I remember correctly. My memory may be eluding me just a little bit, but now they are going both one-loss teams at the number 1 and 2 spot. Going to go head-to-head tonight. I'm going to throw you over to the map while we get set up. I don't know. So going through the replay, it didn't tell me who picked map. So I'm just going to say Brickhouse picks every map so far tonight. And so what we'll do tonight is I'll show you the maps, what we got going on. Then we'll get into the game, and I'll go over the team comps, give my opinions, and then we will start the series off, get the teams introduced. But looking at the maps so far tonight, Brickhouse banned out Alterac Pass and Towers of Doom. Meanwhile, the Devil's Rejects come in, ban out Battlefield of Eternity and Braxis Holdout. So two bigger maps getting banned off right away. Towers of Doom, that comeback map. Braxis, one of those very snowball heavy maps. And Infernal Shrines going to be the first one picked up. So these two teams going to go battle it out on Infernal Shrines. One of the classic, one of my favorite hero maps just to cast because there's so much different variability that can go on a map like Infernal Shrines, playing the objective, ignoring the objective, and creating macro pressure. There's plenty of camps to put pressure around. Both teams can have a double soaker or just a really strong bruiser up in that top lane. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams decide to approach this game. I have not seen any results. I don't even know who won this series, so I am looking forward to seeing what's going on. Sup, Lich Queen? Although I do apologize, I was not going to put this on a delay tonight, and then I set everything up perfectly, thought I had it all under control, started the cast, and realized that I was on a 30-second delay. So I will be on that 30-second delay, so it's not that I'm ignoring you all. Ooh, Band-Aid's getting in the chat as well. Got some good folks coming in to watch this one tonight. Super excited about that. Hope you guys enjoy this show. This is going to be a really great matchup. So let me get this first one loaded for you guys real quick, and we'll see. Game number 1, gonna be that Infernal Shrines, and we're gonna load this one up real quick. So my computer's going to load it pretty quickly, so I'll just zoom out when these comps kind of come online. I'll pause it real quick. We'll go over some of these team comps. There we go. Got the teams. So Brickhouse coming in, drafting the Garrosh as their main tank, Gazlo as their offlaner, Tassadar and Raider going to be their combo damage DPSers, and Rhaegar going to round it out. Ooh, Rhaegar. Okay, so I haven't seen a lot of Rhaegar lately, so I'm kind of excited to see the Rhaegar pickup, honestly. Rhaegar going to be able to keep Garrosh pretty healthy and topped off, and also going to be able to provide a lot of that extra dive DPS, and also be one of those people who are going to be able to clear some of these camps, potentially go up and get that top siege camp on their own, leave Gazlo to put a lot of pressure. But the Devil's Reject coming in, that is a Diablo. I believe that is going to be Satan Saves on the Diablo, one of his best champions. I got to cast the Devil's Rejects quite a bit last season when they were Division E. I was always crossing my fingers hoping Satan Saves would pull out a Diablo, and it is a very fun thing to see. So I'm looking forward to a Satan Saves Diablo here. But we've got a Blaze in the offlane, and then we got a Zagara Tychus. So again, going into this macro heavy team, I don't anticipate that they're going to try and fight around a lot of these objectives. They're going to try to delay it with the Blaze, being able to just create a lot of sustain with the Deckard healing. The crowd control from the Deckard and the Diablo are going to try and just poke off, keep this Raynor and Tassadar, which do not have, I mean, Tassadar's got some pretty good wave clear for these minions, but they don't have the strongest camp pressure, and they're going to use Zagara to try and create a lot of macro pressure in the top and bottom, especially if they can keep it even up to level 10. I think the Zagara is going to take over this game, create a lot of map pressure, create a lot of macro presence with those Nidus networks, and be able to, you know, go from top to bottom real quickly, kind of stay on the other side of the map of the objective, and then kind of sneak in if they need her for like a quick team fight or something like that. But looks like everybody's throwing down a chat. I look like I love both of these. Oh, I gotta get rid of that. Please do not click on that link, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get rid of that message real quick, and then we will get in here and get this started. Gosh, I have to friggin' get rid of all these people. Now, I don't have any mods in chat. I'm going to, let me see if I can get some of this under control, because this is just absolutely insane. I've literally never had this happen before. This is a first time, so let me go assign some mods. Sorry for the delay real quick, ladies and gentlemen. We got some people just absolutely spamming in chat for want to become famous. I don't actually want to become famous. Thanks for the offer. I am perfectly good where I am at. So, yeah. Let me make sure I can get this taken care of. See, this is what put big follows as a banned word. So this is the problem where I literally have never had anybody come into chat and do this before. So I'll be able to get this under control once I learn what's going on. But in the meantime, there we go. I can start getting these people real quick. Add users. Oh gosh. There's so many users that I gotta get rid of here. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna go get that. Please, nobody click on that. If anybody knows how to do some moderation, I will definitely give you mods to clean that up for me while I go ahead and do this this cast real quick. Man, where is Bankai when I need him? He said he wanted mod value. He's the only one that I believe I've given mod to, and here he comes, not showing up to my stream when I need him most. Bankai, come on. Do I want to be famous ISX coming in from Lich King? I do not want to be famous. I just want to cast and be left alone from spammers. So, hope you guys are having a fun time. I'll get that cleaned up in between games, but I want to get this game one underway. Let's get these teams going. I will get these teams introduced. On this blue side, we got Zesty sitting on the Rhaegar. We got Little Soul sitting on that Garrosh. We got Shaleborg on the Tassadar, Tater sitting on the Raynor, and Hood Pope on the Gazlo. Meanwhile, on the red side, for the Devil's Rejects, we got Hebrew Hammer on that Blaze. We got Satan Saves on the Diablo, Symbolic on the Zagara, Soldier of God sitting on that Titan, and we've got Lunatic X on that Deckard Cain. Oh yeah, that's right. Bankai, once he finishes that, then he'll come over to clean that up for me. But here we go. Both teams getting underway. Looking at some of these talents that are coming in for both of these teams. Tassadar going to go with that Q stack here early in the game. Diablo going to go with that Feast on Fear. Going to look for those extra soul hits with or get some of that extra healing when he is able to stun that target. At forward, he will get the souls as well. Deckard actually going for the Sapphire here at level 1. So gonna go for a little bit of extra damage there from the Deckard Cain. Don't see that one picked up too terribly often. Typically going to see a lot of things, but Zagara gonna be in the 4-man rotation. I mean, I guess I'll expect her to see here until level 10. Gonna be at 4, but Satan Saves getting the stun onto the Raynor, flipping him over. Rhaegar actually in a pretty rough spot, but Diablo not able to finish. Garrosh didn't let it throw. Throws right up next to Rhaegar. Garrosh actually threw Diablo right next to Rhaegar there. Diablo turned and like smacked him for the kill. So there we go. Lich Queen coming in with the sub prime. Thank you so much, Queen, thank you for that 12th subscription. We are 3 away from getting that second emote unlocked for you all, so we will get there soon, and enjoy your emotes in the meantime. Silver Arrow coming in, displaying that flashy emote. I've got another one. Yes, I do. It's going to come out just for you when we get to that magical number of 15. Meanwhile, let's get back to this game. Soul's in chat watching this. Let me cringe real quick while I yeet a tank at our healer. Absolutely unfortunate there, but I have some great memes from Deep Fried Ming Balls. They have literally made a meme of the Garrosh yeeting throws that I next time I cast them, which is coming up here in the not too distant future, it's going to be absolutely entertaining to see this meme come to full fruition. We will play the video. It is absolutely hilarious. They've been sending me copies of the updates. I'm going to play it. Anyway, getting back to this game, we're going to go in, and Zagara actually getting tossed over. There we go, the nice combo. Garrosh getting the kill on to the Zagara there. Does trade his life away. Tychus does have that ability to shred, so Garrosh has got to kind of throw and then get himself to safety there. Otherwise, Tychus is going to put down the pain and put it down fast. Going to go with that the bigger they are, so he's going to be able to shred Garrosh down pretty quickly, but then he's going to kind of tap out and just rely on the rest of the burst damage coming in from the Diablo there to kind of finish these targets off. So we'll see if he's able to get that last 30% there or so coming out of the Tychus, but kills 2-1 in favor of the Devil's Rejects right now. Symbolic gonna go pick up their camp. Meanwhile, aside of Brickhouse, haven't quite got the timer down on theirs. Instead, they're getting a nice pressure in this bot lane. Like we talked about, sometimes these teams opt to just ignore this first objective and go for the split push play. So actually picking up a turret, now looks like they're backing off. They're going to get the value that the other team gave them, and now rotating up to go fight over the objective. So sneaky play. They do sacrifice the camp for the tower. We'll determine if that's worth it here in a few seconds. I think the camp would have definitely been a good pickup. Teams typically want to get those camps on timer. Tychus actually sitting in the bot lane trying to finish off this camp, get a little more experience. Blaze soaking the top lane, so the Devil's Rejects getting some nice soak here, but Zagara getting yeeted right back into the middle of the team by the Garrosh. The wall coming out absolutely beautifully from the Tacitor, securing that kill. Blaze getting a nice 3-man stun there over this objective, but unfortunately we have 22 objective already picked up with a dead Zagara, so this is a good power play coming out of the side of Brickhouse. Devil's Rejects got to back off, got to give this one up. I'd like to see somebody rotate down into this bot lane and start getting some experience here, since they're pretty much non-contesting this, but the rest of the team gonna sit in the mid-wave, and try to just create a solid defense here. Still got about a half a level lead there. Titterplay saying, lulling them into a false sense of security here, making them think that they have got it in the early game and they're going to come back and smack them later on. But we do see this mortar, everybody kind of standing on the mortar bombs there, so taking a fair bit of damage. Deckard's like, guys, please, I'm trying to keep you healed, but ooh, Zagara getting jumped on by the Punisher and actually getting killed. So another pickup by the side of Brickhouse. Raynor did go into this bot lane to start getting some of that soak there. So pretty good play by the Raynor, getting a little bit of extra value for his team. And now that experience has kind of shifted over towards Brickhouse with the Devil's Rejects. Had a pretty good start. The 3 deaths onto the Zagara seems to be a little bit of a turning point there. Zagara's just got to be a little bit more patient, sit back just a little bit further, respect the Garrosh throw, and I think the Devil's Rejects will have no problem getting themselves back into this game. Zagara now starting to poke things out with the Banelings there. And we do see this camp going to probably be the next contested area. Blaze going to try and get some of this double soak. Soak out the mid lane while Gazlo's in the top lane. We'll see if he rotates up. He does go to the top lane. Camp being picked up by the side of Brickhouse here. Meanwhile, Devil's Rejects going to pick up their own camp over this objective. We do see that the ping is going down for the siege camp now for the side of Brickhouse. We'll see if they hold it for the timer. It's going to be an awfully long timer to hold. Maybe they're just going to go get that experience boost to get them to level 10 that much faster. And Gazlo is rotating down to this mid lane. Going to try and start off the double soak. Rhaegar, like we talked about, able to do some extra damage to this thing. So they got a pretty fast camp clear there with the Rhaegar assistance. Garrosh going to try and delay this bush. We got the 4-man here, but Diablo actually getting thrown down, taking a few tower shots, and a nice penetrating shot from Raynor to knock Diablo back even further. But big root coming out from the Deckard. Unstoppable popped by the Garrosh. Did he go Indomitable? He did go Indomitable, but that was the Rhaegar cleanse onto the Garrosh. Garrosh did not pop his own Indomitable, holding onto it. But 10's online now, coming in for both teams. We will go over these as soon as we can. It is the Ancestral Healing, as expected, coming out of the Rhaegar. Garrosh coming in way deep here. The Deckard Cain gets a 3-man sleep, but unfortunately Raynor does go under, but that's still a good pickup onto the Garrosh. Actually, there's 2 under. It looked like there was only 1. Ancestral goes down, but it was pretty much absolutely negated by the damage coming in. The grab bomb does miss, but Gaxlo is able to land that last lightning strike onto the Tychus there. So it is a 3-for-1 pickup so far for the side of the Devil's Rejects. Very good fight coming in for the side. Satan Saves is not done. That is a 4th one, and that is why I love to see Satan Saves on the Diablo. He plays it so well, able to get that 4th stun, pick up the Tassadar, and this is a nice play coming in for the Devil's Rejects right around this objective, getting that commanding lead back in their favor. Almost a full level ahead now around this objective, and they're set up in a pretty good spot with this minion camp. We'll see if Zagara, she did not go for the Nidus Network, so she's going to stay with the 4-man in this post 10, going instead with the Devouring Maw. And another good pickup by the Devil's Rejects, getting good camp timers, making sure they pick it up right around when this objective spawns. Unfortunately, it's not done yet. Tychus and Blaze, not notoriously known for their camp clearing pressure there, and the side of Brickhouse gonna start off the camp again. They got the Rhaegar, they got the Tassadar, so they'll clear this fast. Camp being picked up, Tychus on his way in, but a little bit late. They should be able to arrive still around 20 minions, so it's gonna be a 5-on-5 fight here. We'll see if they delay or just go for the fight. Tychus already popped the Odin, so it is a fight. Garrosh getting flipped over, pops the Indomitable himself. Gazlo landing a 2-man grab bomb, and Blaze go with the combustion there. Ultimate's just a little staggered from the side of the Devil's Rejects, so it's a 1-for-1 trade. Gazlo sitting under in the Devouring Maw. Diablo lands the flip onto the Rhaegar, but he doesn't quite get the finishing shot from the Odin. Black Hole does save Rhaegar from the Tychus finish there, and so that will be a 1-for-1 trade so far. 23-27 in the stats right now for the objective. Everybody, Zagara's low on health and mana. Their Deckard's sitting very low in the mana pool. Meanwhile, Brickhouse fairly healthy. They should just push right on past that Diablo. Wall coming in beautifully. Everybody jumping on the Diablo. Diablo will go down. The Tychus is the last remaining fully maned champion. Deckard and Zagara running on fumes here, and that is another Frozen Punisher picked up by the side of the Brickhouse, going in with the Frozen Punisher. So even though it looked pretty grim initially, the Devil's Rejects just not quite syncing up their ultimates like they did in that bot fight there. And so Brickhouse able to find their way to get the second Punisher here, and pretty much even up this experience. Gonna get the first fort of the game in this bot lane, and now they've got a fairly healthy Frozen Punisher pushing this keep. The rest of the team's kind of back out. I thought Garrosh would be there for the alley-oop there play. He does get the Diablo. Diablo has no soul stack, so is he going to throw? He does. Satan Saves in very low. Gonna charge back on to the Garrosh there. The taunt going down from the Warlord's challenge, and everybody's so low, and the huge stun coming in from the Punisher, following up with the jump, but he does not hit the Tychus, hitting the Deckard instead, and so they will not get any follow-up kills after that. But the Punisher was like, guys, I'll set him up for you. Brickhouse able to get the Diablo, so that's a 1 pickup, but more importantly, Gazlo able to get the double soak game going there, gets the experience lead, and, you know, match flips again back over to Brickhouse. So it's been just as back and forth as I expected a matchup between the two top teams in Division E West right now. Looking like they're putting on a bit of a show. Each team going a little bit back and forth. We'll see if the Devil's Rejects find another good fight like they did in that bot lane to get themselves back in the lead, or if Brickhouse can start to take this one and pull away with it. Getting the first fort in the bot lane is pretty beneficial. They will have control over this bot camp. They will not have necessarily the control over this camp unless they can get the mid keep, or mid fort there, but they will have control over this. No way that the side of the Devil's Reject should ever get that bot camp again unless they nullify the lane pressure in the bot lane. And Gazlo gonna go up, get this camp again. Brickhouse wanting it for the experience, not so much for the pressure that it creates around the objective. And I mean, they've been playing. If they had played it around their camp timers, I think they would be doing just an absolute bang-up job with how well they're playing around these Punishers. But it has kept them in this experience game so far. They've got about a couple thousand experience leads so far, and they'll continue to try and make this game snowball in their favor. Looking at some of these ultimates while we got some downtime, we've seen most of them, but going through the rest of them, it was the Warlord challenge picked up by the Garrosh, Grab Bomb by the Gazload, Black Hole coming in from Tassadar, Hyperion from the Rainer. Meanwhile, on the side of the Devil's Rejects, the APOC coming in from the Diablo, the Devouring Maw, Diablo going in with the APOC play, but unfortunately onto the Garrosh, who could just pop the Indomitable, so that's going to be all she wrote there. Decker Kane going with that Stay Wild and Listen, Combustion coming out of the Blaze, and we do see the Odin being picked up by the Tychus there. Hydralisk picked up by the Zagara as the 13 talent, excuse me. We'll see what she goes with the 16. Tassadar still having a little bit of difficulty getting this level 1 quest finished. You know, a lot of these fights have been just really, really quick, kind of in and out deal, and so he hasn't had the most time. There hasn't really been much of a laning phase. Both these teams picking up camps and kind of staying outside of each other's lane, but we do see the 4-man rotating up onto the Blaze here. Taunt going down and then the throw. Blaze is locked down, does pop the Unstoppable with that level 1 talent, and will be able to, you know, delay it for a second or so. Zagara actually coming in, lands a 2-man Devouring Maw, so they do have the pick onto the Rainer there. That is going to be a dead Rainer, but the Grab Bomb lands onto both Zagara and Diablo. Stay a while comes out, but it does not connect. Diablo says, wait a minute, I'm going to throw him into that story. Zagara going to try and finish this Garrosh off. Meanwhile, Tychus, he's rotating down. That will be a dead Garrosh. 2 kills going over for the Devil's Rejects. Only 1 for the side of Brickhouse. Again, right around this objective. Now we'll see if the side of the Devil's Rejects can finally get that first objective. It is the Arcane Punisher. It will be able to put some serious hurt down if you're not being aware of those lightning beams that get put down. And the Mortar Punisher did a surprising amount of damage. Gazlo actually, being smart here, going to go up and just sneeze on that top fort, kill it off, make sure that the team has a little bit more macro pressure going. There's no way he was going to be able to come down and contest. 24 picked up by the side of the Devil's Rejects, and I don't think there's going to be any contention at all. This is going to be first objective picked up by the Devil's Rejects. They will push this mid lane, and now we'll see if they can use this APOC combo with the Blaze stun to get some kills for this Tychus and Zagara right around when the Punisher jumps. They got to get this wall down ASAP. Tychus in the lead, Diablo coming up. Zagara not using the Banelings quite yet. There they come in. The wall is down, but unfortunately the follow-up just wasn't there. The wall went down a little too late, so Diablo couldn't jump over. We do see the Grab Bomb coming in huge, both on the Tychus and the Diablo, but the wall accidentally walls off the rest of the team for following it up. A 2-man Devouring Maw, but the Stay a While not able to channel and get that final stun. Satan Save's getting thrown in, but the Garrosh will trade his life away for that play. So far, 1 kill to none for the side of the Devil's Rejects, but the side of Brickhouse, they were able to defend and defend pretty well. They will eventually lose this fort, it looks like. We'll see. They're coming back to try and create a second defense. Tassadar does not wall off the Diablo, unfortunately. So the fort will indeed go down, and that is finally first fort picked up by the side of the Devil's Rejects. 1 fort to 2. No keeps picked up yet, but this does relieve a little bit of map pressure, and now the Devil's Rejects have advantage over this camp on the side of Brickhouse there. And they were able to get this bottom camp. So for what I said about there's no way they're going to pick up that camp, they said, screw you, Caster. We're going to go get it just fine and dandy. Zagara holding on, picking up this camp. Maybe they're waiting to see where the side of Brickhouse was, but they knew Garrosh was down. Oh, it looks like there was a pause. Just got the chats coming out 5-3-1. So there might have been a pause in that game, now getting resolved. Thankfully, with replays, we don't have to sit through the pauses. But look at this experience. It's pretty much evened itself out here again. Camp being available for the side of Brickhouse to go pick up there. We'll see if the Devil's Rejects elect to be aggressive and try and potentially set up a play steal. If they can time this Zagara Maw with the Deckard Stay a While a little bit better, I think they got it, but it looks like they're setting up the play onto the Gazlo. The Grab Bomb goes down, but the APOC will land, and that will be a pick going over for the side of the Devil's Rejects. The rest of the team of Brickhouse going to pick up the camp. So yeah, I'm curious to see if the side of the Devil's Rejects are going to be able to land this combo fluidly. They've got it. They've hit like different parts at different times, but they haven't quite landed the entire combo yet. And I think once they hit it it's just going to be massive. Like, you're going to see all 5 members of Brickhouse go down. Meanwhile, if this Garrosh can get going, find those picks like he was in the early game, not throw him next to the healer, I believe that this is, oh, here we go. This is the start. Tassadar setting up the pick play. Garrosh coming in. He does get the pick just as I say it. Garrosh delivers, and that is a pick onto the Diablo. He will be back due to the soul stones, and so he will just be down for a second and then come running back. But a good pick for the side of Brickhouse, getting the experience back to even again. It's been back and forth here, but both teams gonna come online, get their 20s, and we will have a 20-on-20 fight here for this next objective in the top lane. Unfortunately, this time, the Devil's Rejects, they have done a good job at getting camp timers. Unfortunately, this camp will not be able to create the pressure over the objective like the other 3 will. Since the objective is in the top lane, the side of Brickhouse will just be able to clear it up. But 20s coming online for both teams. The Hellgate coming out from the Diablo will be able to put another APOC Sun down. Tyrant Maw from the Zagara there. We've got the Respect the Elderly, Stay a While and Listen. Gonna give the Blind. We got Tychus going to Can Do This All Day, and we got the extra combustion. The APOC coming down. Gazlo going down. Will he put the teleport to get the double stun? He doesn't. And the grab bomb going down, coming in huge there. 2-man grab bomb onto the Decker Cane and the Diablo. Warlord challenge, locking that Diablo down. Nobody dying so far. Brickhouse has 2 kills. Blaze trying to get himself to safety there. Rhaegar does go down, so it's a 2-for-1 so far, but Tychus and Zagara have to run. Tassadar on the hunt. Will he be able to catch up? Oh, he gets the wall! He did it! Tassadar gets the kill onto the Tychus there. I thought for a second he wasn't going to be able to get it, but then Tychus just hesitated for that quarter of a second, and Tassadar punished him. And that was a big pickup by Shyborg. Gonna get that 3rd kill. It's a 3-to-1 in favor of Brickhouse. They will have this Frozen Punisher, and they've got their whole Siege alive. They don't have the Rhaegar, but they have a bunch of Siege alive. Gazlo gonna go stop the push in the mid lane. Garrosh gonna start pushing out this top lane. I expect him to go push out this lane as well, since, or he wanted to go get himself a little healthier. Okay, that's fine. Considering their healer was down, getting a couple more health globes, not a bad idea at all. He'll be able to push this out with the rest of the team. But we do have that Frozen Punisher. The side of the Devil's Rejects, gonna go get some value. I like the play. The Punisher's not there. Gonna get some map value on the bot lane, come back for the defense. Blaze should be able to pop this thing over, no sweat, since he does have the Unstoppable on the passive, and then pull it down towards the back of the keep. We'll see if Blaze sets this play up. There he goes, pops the Unstoppable like a pro, gets that Punisher running down. Ooh, he didn't get it pulled to the back. He pulled it over to the Fountain. The Fountain's going to take some damage, and the keep, more importantly, is not going to be hitting the Punisher there. So the extra damage onto the Punisher will not go down. Hyperion coming in for the zoning ult. The Punisher gets the 2-man stun, but that's probably going to be all she wrote for the Punisher. Rhaegar now just coming in, but the prize is picked up. This keep, not long for this world. Ancestral Healing actually used onto the Gazlo to top him off, but nobody's going to follow that up. Looks like the side of Brickhouse, they're going to rotate down into this mid lane and just keep this game going. Stall it out a little bit longer. Get the map starting to push a little more heavily into their favor. See if they can even out this mid lane, pick up some camps, clear out this pressure in the bot lane, and use this pressure that will build out in this top lane. But Diablo looks like he's wanting to hunt here. If they can get vision, their roaches are in. Diablo going in, lands the APOC, but the Maw comes out and negates the APOC coming in. The combo just unfortunately not there for the side of Devil's Rejects. So the Zagara actually saving 2 members there and loses her life in tow. Great wall coming in from Tassadar yet again. Absolutely critical walls coming in here, and Gazlo just way in deep. The Stay a While coming out and landing onto 3 members there, but that is going to be a dead Tychus. The rest of the team pushing in. This is bad news bears. Satan saves 3-man knockup coming in from Little Soul. Huge play by the Garrosh there. Diablo going to go down. They need to just push to end here. This is going to be core call. Absolutely. Oh, unfortunately, the wall did not land there. They don't need this keep. They can push right past and pick up the core, but it looks like they want to get the keep instead, get the little bit of the consolation prize, and then go and end this game. Deckard putting down the potions to try and see if Blaze and him can set up a heroic defense, but this is a 5-on-3. We've got Hyperion up in 4 seconds. This Hyperion will just zone everybody out and siege down the rest of this core, and this looks like it will be game 1 going over to Brickhouse. I'll see if there could be a defense here. Blaze doing all that he can. The Warlord challenge going down. Hyperion sieging it up. Ancestral Healing, grab bomb. Look at that. Blaze is gone, and first game going over to the side of Brickhouse. GG's by both of these teams here. Wonder if I'll get a stat screen. I've actually, like I said, I've never, ever done replay, so I have no idea if I'm going to get a stat screen. I hope I do. Maybe it's just going to stay on blue team wins forever. But I can just hit tab and we can look at some stats for a little bit. So I'll just hold tab, see what we can find here, because I don't want to lose the stat screen. But looking at some of these stats, Tassadar coming in with the big damage there at the end, getting some clutch walls as that game progressed. So it looked little scary in the early game, but then able to get those walls, set up the throws from the Garrosh that much easier. Gazlo coming in with some huge grab bombs towards the end of the game. 2 3-man grab bombs that just allowed Tassadar to put his full combination down and blow up that Tychus and blow up the Zagara pretty easily. Raynor didn't put out the most damage, but he had the ultimate that he used very well for the zoning. Gonna be able to get a lot of that Hyperion siege damage there. And we do see the Gazlo just winning in that double soak game. Absolutely. So that was a pretty clutch performance by the Gazlo there. Some of these talents, see if we agree. Tassar didn't quite finish off the static charge quest. That's rather unfortunate there. Rhaegar going heavily into electric charge, wanting to, give his team that much more of an advantage to be able to pick up those objectives there. Getting the cleanse at 7, and the ancestral healing just was absolutely critical, being able to keep the team healed up there. Looking at some of these, pretty standard Garrosh build coming out. Going with Blood Craze at 13 there. Going to be able to heal over time, get a little bit of extra self-sustain there. Going for the mortal combo, so going to go for that stun as well. And then Titanic Might throwing 2 targets instead of 1. I don't remember if he actually threw 2 targets. At least I never saw it. Gazlo, just typical blow him up Gazlo build. Was able to do a lot of damage there. And looking at the rest of these, and the Deckard build, I was just super interesting there. I gotta look at this a lot closer and see. I've never seen this Deckard build before. That's cool. I gotta look at that one a little bit closer down the road. But pretty standard stuff. Tychus going heavily into the spray and pray later as the game went on, not committing to the W, was just happy with the quarterback and with the melting point there, and not going for the extra tank shred. He knew really all he had to get through was the Garrosh, since everybody else was a little bit low, but this is heavy for the peel. Maybe he was a little bit scared of the Rhaegar jumping in, but these are 2 ranged auto attackers there coming out, so I don't know if he necessarily, maybe he was just trying to get in and do a lot of AoE damage, banking on the combo, but it seemed like the combo, like we said, for the side of the Devil's Rejects just wasn't quite on point like we wanted it to be. So yeah, pretty good stuff coming out from both of these teams. Let me throw it back over to the maps there, and I'll get game number 2 loaded in. So 1-0 so far. I do have 3. Well, never mind. I'm not going to spoil anything. That was game 1. So let me load up game number 2 here. That's, again, the beauty of doing replay casts is we can go straight from one game right into the other here. We're going to Garden of Terror for game number 2 here. And like I said, I'm just going to always set it up so that Brickhouse is the one picking up the map. But Garden of Terror, kind of that fun one that there's a lot of camp priority going over for these 2 teams. There's a bunch of camps to be able to pick up. So both these teams going to want to draft somebody high in that champion pool that can do that camp clearing. And let's see what these teams decide to go with. On the side of Brickhouse, they go for the Mei as the main tank, who does a very good job being able to zone people off the objective and use the ice wall to be able to cut off corners, paths of entrance, so that she can zone everybody off from the objective. We got the Sylvanas, who is one of those camp. Actually, will be able to do a very good job at clearing camp, so check mark for that one. Tychus being stolen away here, though, by the side of Brickhouse, so they're going to run the Tychus themselves. D.Va going to be in that off lane, and I love seeing D.Va on Garden of Terror. She can get around the map so quickly and pick up camps fairly efficiently herself, so they got a lot of camp pickup on the side of Brickhouse, so they can get those camps under their control pretty quickly. I think they're going to do a pretty good job in the macro game. Going with Lily for the healer, though, that's where I would have been interested to see how they picked them in the draft. There is a Zul'jin showing on the side of the Devil's Rejects with the Yrel, Gazlo, and Diablo. So I'm wondering if the Zul'jin was picked up first and they're like, we just need blinds for the Zul'jin. The Johanna may not have been available, and electing to go with the Mei, who has blinds, but it's just not as good, in my opinion, as a Johanna blind. But they have 2 blind characters available for that Zul'jin, so going to be able to shut them down. And it is that hyper carry Zul'jin. They're going to have the Yrel and Gazlo be those off-lane bruisers, try to put up their own respectable damage. Have the Diablo there again for the engage, and then Lucio going to round it out with the heals. Looking at the comps, that may be a sound barrier Lucio. I don't necessarily anticipate it being a high 5 Lucio unless he just really, really wants to protect that Zul'jin, because they don't have a lot of hard crowd control coming out from the side of Brickhouse. They're outside of the Mei. So we'll see how these 2 teams elect to battle it out. But let's get this game going. On the blue side, we've got the side of Brickhouse. We got Zesty on the Lily. We got Tater on the Sylvanas. We got Little Soul sitting on that Mei. We got Dizzy Wingman on the Diva. And we got Shyborg on the Tychus. Meanwhile, on the side of the Devil's Rejects, we got Hebrew Hammer sitting on that Yrel. Satan Saves on the Diablo. Symbolic sitting on the Gazlo. Soldier of God on the Zul'jin. And Lunatic X on the Lucio. Glad you all watched my As Daddy videos. I'm guessing that's because he got an Asmodan ban. Coming in Soul... Oh, see, this is what's beneficial to seeing what's going on in the game. I got Soul House in here giving me all the inside scoop on the drafts. Zul'jin was drafted before Lily, so Lily probably being picked up for that extra blind potential onto the Zul'jin. Gonna shut down that hyper carry. Pretty smart choice, getting as many blinds as you can into a hyper carry Zul'jin, so like to see it. And the Devil's Rejects, I mean, I truly believe that in the late game, if the Zul'jin can get stacked up, the Devil's Rejects will take this game. They just have to get there. And the side of Brickhouse, they've got so much macro play. They've got pretty decent wave clear. They've just got to get these camps and get pressure in all 3 lanes, because they can out macro the heck out of the side of the Devil's Rejects. They don't even necessarily need to play for objectives. They can delay the objectives and just try and out macro them heavily, and they should be able to win this game, at least create enough of an advantage in the early game that they will be able to really put the Devil's Rejects on their back footing here. And it looks like we're already seeing that come in. They're immediately going to the camp right when they spawn, recognizing that, hey, we just got to get these camps on a timer and we will do really well here. Sylvanas gonna go up against Yrel here in the bot lane. We got the Diva against the Gazlo in the top lane. Now, that's going to be a fun skill matchup to watch there. Diva will be able to punish Gazlo later in the game, as long as she can just keep herself out of the stuns. But we do see the camp already being picked up by the side of Brickhouse. Zul'jin going to go get started. And important note, since they're going to hyper carry Zul'jin on a map like Garden of Terror, he will not be able to get his stacks as fast as he wants. He's going to be on camp duty for the most part. Gazlo is going to be able to help, but Zul'jin's really their main source of camp. Diablo and Yrel do not do camps that quickly, so Soldier of God got to spend some time doing camps, meaning he's not going to get his stacks. So we'll see. We'll keep our eye on that Zul'jin stacks and see what we can gather on how the game is progressing. But I mean, that's another thing. Like, as long as Brickhouse can keep these lanes pushing, Zul'jin's going to have to go around and answer a lot of this pressure all over the map. He's not going to have the best time clearing or getting these stacks up. He's still sitting on 0 2 minutes into the game because of these blinds and having to be on camp duty here. So good early game coming out of the side of Brickhouse. The experience is even so far. We do see the Gazlo and the Yrel trying to get this camps, but look at this. All 3 camps have been picked up, and the side of Brickhouse are just pushing the stuffing out of this bot lane, recognizing that they have the early game. They don't have to necessarily fight over the objective. They have the macro game in their favor. Going for the 1 tower and backing again. That was something they did on Infernal Shrines. They're doing it here again on Garden of Terror. May actually be engaged upon by the Diablo and Gazlo. Unfortunately, the damage just isn't quite there in this early game. We got the 4-man rotation up. Will they go for a pick? It doesn't look like it. They're just here to help clear some of the minions. We do see this first objective being picked up by the side of the Devil's Rejects, but here come the side of Brickhouse coming in to potentially contest it. May, one of those characters who can delay forever. Just an absolute nuisance. She actually goes in there, but knocks everybody back. Diablo getting stunned out, and they're putting down some damage with the Sylvanas. Meanwhile, Diva is pushing in this top lane against Yrel with the help of the Siege Camp, so the longer they can delay, the better this is for Brickhouse. Devil's Rejects, they got to find something, see if they can find a pick, or just zone off a little more aggressively. They need to push out just a little further forward there, but since Lucio's the one channeling, they don't have their healer necessarily in range, so it's a tough tough order. Gazlo getting stunned out here, and that was what the side of Brickhouse was waiting for. Pick up onto the Gazlo. Zul'jin trying to get those stacks, actually up to 5 now, so he's getting some stacks in these fights, but the objective was channeled by the Lucio, did get it finished off. They focused on the they focused on the Gazlo to get the kill, didn't get the Lucio interrupted, so first objective picked up by the side of the Devil's Rejects, but another tower picked up here by the side of Brickhouse. They are just punishing this bot lane, using this 4-man that they know they have the advantage. Here comes Diablo. Will he be able to land the stun? Doesn't. Goes for the Mei instead. Mei bounces into Lucio. I don't know if that was intentional or accidental there, but it worked out because she knocked the Lucio back, and Sylvanas was like, oh, I'll kill this one. Looked like Mei was trying to use it to escape the Diablo, and then just said, oh, what's up, buddy? So a nice pickup by the side of Brickhouse yet again. 2 kills to 0. Got a little bit of a lead. That one was intentional. Symbolic getting stunned out here, and he should go down. Nice knockback from the grenade to seal that kill from the Tychus, and that is a 3rd kill going over by the side of Brickhouse. Playing the early game as expected, doing a very good job locking down this Zul'jin and using the team to kind of just delay until they finally find a fight that they like. And it looks like Tychus going to be able to finish off this objective 1-1 in the map. The objective pick up there. And now we'll see if Brickhouse goes back to their camp game. That's what they've got, and they need to use it. Mei actually going in for potentially a pick here. And now they're just going to back themselves off. Gazlo going to go down and pick up the camp already in the bot lane. Lily going down to pick up their own siege camp here. Sylvanas going to pass by the bruiser camp. Still got 45 seconds, so she's got time. She's going to go down and start off this bot lane. Zul'jin actually going on the stack for the Arcane Axes here, so wanting to get even more damage off that passive when he gets it to 30. So kind of going in for the all-in late game build coming out of the Zul'jin here. He just needs to get those stacks up. And once he gets those stacks up, so now now that they've seen this kind of a build coming out from Zul'jin, now the name of the game for Brickhouse is just blind Zul'jin even more. Like, Mei just keep blinding the Zul'jin every time you see him, because this Zul'jin really wants to get to 30. And Mei gonna actually, this is a great way to shut down the Zul'jin, just kill him, and that is a pick by the side of Brickhouse. Brickhouse looking a lot more solid in the early game here than they did. Devil's Rejects kind of sitting on their back hood. A nice ice wall. They pick off the Lucio. Lucio able to speed himself away. Diablo gets himself away there as well. And so the side of Brickhouse picking another fight, getting a kill around this objective. That's going to get him a nice little lead on this objective. D.Va going to get some pressure here in the top lane. And this bottom bruiser camp also available to be picked up as well. So here come the macro pressure. The side of the Devil's Rejects, they were able to get some of their camps as well, but they're behind from the first rotation. So the second rotation gonna be a little bit slower as well. And D.Va gonna start creating some pressure. So we got almost both towers here, the wall, and kind of almost both towers here, but we've got this bottom fort exposed, and Sylvanas is getting the lane pushing. I'm curious to see if they're gonna push one more time in this bot lane. Looks like they're not. Looks like they're going to clear it out. But some of these ultimates, get the rest introduced. Bunny Hop by the D.Va. We got Jug of 1,000 Cups by the Lily. We got the Odin by the Tychus. We've got the Wailing Arrow coming in from the Sylvanas. And as we saw, the Ice Wall from the Mei. Meanwhile, on the side of the Devil's Rejects, Apocalypse picked up by the Diablo, Grab Bomb by the Gazlo. That's going to be a really nasty combo if they can land it. Taz Dingo by the Zul'jin, Ardent Defender picked up by the Urel, and Lucio still holding on to his ultimate. Hasn't shown quite yet what he wants to do. APOC being used, so they won't have the combo with the Grab Bomb this time. Grab Bomb going down, the Ice Wall lands, and it's a 0-man APOC, 0-man Grab Bomb there. And we do see a 2-man stun, though, from the Gazlo. Lily in the middle, she pops the Jugs, gets stunned out, so those Jugs are gone. And here we go, full-on engage coming in from the Lucio, and now the Bunny Hop being utilized by the D.Va, getting a couple of hits, getting the stun onto the Urel, not quite onto the Lucio. The flip onto the mech, gets in range, and the Urel gonna go down. So big pickup by the side of Brickhouse. Assist going over to Diablo there, and this looks like it will be the 3rd objective picked up by the side of Brickhouse. Tychus finished it off. Mei going in, finds the Gazlo there. Gazlo popping the unstoppable, get himself to safety, but Mei's not done. She's hunting yet again. Zul'jin at 9 stacks. I said we're on Zul'jin watch this entire game. Let's see if he can get some stacks here around this objective. Gonna try and get as many as he can. Diablo actually getting crowd control to all hell here, getting stunned out by the Mei twice, and that will be a dead Diablo getting those souls. So we're gonna have baby Diablo coming out here in a second. A beautiful ice wall coming in from Mei. Wow, Little Soul playing absolutely out of his mind right now with this Mei play. Oh, we do see a 2-man grab bomb by Gazlo. No APOC to follow it up. It was 12 seconds from being off of cooldown there. And so that is a fort in the mid lane. Looks like it's going to be a fort in the bot lane. Diva's just having her way with that down there. But Yrel should be able to stop this one in the top lane, hopefully before that goes down. But the rest of Brickhouse pushing heavy in this bot lane, and the side of the Devil's Rejects finishing out the wave. They're going to rotate themselves over and try and to stop this pressure in the bot lane. So 2 forts so far. That's all the forts that we are going to see fall. But we'll see if there's a potential keep play going on in the bot lane here. Yrel rotating down. They're still a little off from 13. The Zul'jin getting caught out. The Unstoppable is popped. Taz Dingo popped as well. The APOC lands onto 3. The Ice Wall goes down, catches the Zul'jin there, and the Yrel getting the Ardent Defender off barely, but is able to keep herself alive. Diva getting popped out here. Zul'jin, oh, was not quite able to finish it out. It looks so close. Diva was almost dead. That would have been a huge pickup by the side of the Devil's Reject, but that is going to be the end of that. Huge fight, nobody dying. Pretty impressive, but we do see a camp steal coming in from Brickhouse. Diablo going all the way in, gets on the point, but the grab bomb gonna land onto the Tychus. That is going to be a dead Lily. Tychus have to get away. Yrel is here. This could be a huge play by the side of Devil's Rejects. Look at what is going on. Zul'jin is in. Zul'jin is not able to get, oh, he does get the Sylvanas, and they are able to pick up the Mei. Big play coming out from the side of Devil's Rejects here, able to get themselves back in this game. Never down, never out. Good engage by the Satan Saves there, recognizing that he could get on that point and the rest of the team was going to get in there. So that is a camp pickup by the side of the Devil's Rejects. Now they're going for the steal, and this experience game is going to slowly start to twist in favor of the Devil's Rejects. More importantly, in that entire fight, Zul'jin was able to get 13 stacks, so he's up to 19 now. Zul'jin getting closer and closer to that magical number of 30. Lich Queen, surprise, I'm back. Welcome back. Hope you had a safe drive home. Welcome back to the stream. And we see Soul House. We really needed to not stay for this camp. Yeah, I definitely agree. It was I mean, the call was good, but the minute they came in, it was a little just too much to handle. They did a great job of being able to jump in there and figure that out. Gets them back into the game here, so it's a 6-3 in the kills, 2 forts to 0, but the experience has pretty much evened up with that comeback experience. Excuse me there, I just kind of like hiccuped and was talking. I don't know what that was. But let me try that one again. With that comeback experience coming in favor for the Devil's Rejects there, they were able to get themselves back into this game, and now we're looking to see if they can pick up their second objective here, and I believe it's going to be uncontested. Camp's being picked up by the side of Brickhouse. Diva's getting some pressure in the top lane, so she will get this fort and try and even out that pressure, but the Devil's Rejects able to get a second objective, so they're looking for one more. Zul'jin now trying to find a way to get stacks. Still sitting at 19, wanting to get to 30. Diablo at 82 souls right now, trying to get up to 100. And this fort is gonna fall. Yeah, it does. Lucio not quite able to get there, but we're at 19 of 500 for the stacks coming in for the Zul'jin. He really needs that second round of the Twin Cleave coming out to really help him get those stacks going. But Diva being a little aggressive, trying to get the thing. Ice Wall actually being popped, and she does end up catching the Lucio there. So Lucio getting zoned out from the rest of the team. Now in a little aggressive position, using the wall, gets himself away, and we're seeing looks like a potential engage. Unfortunately, Hebrew Hammer missing. I like how it's Hebrew Hammer and Yrel's got a hammer, but misses the hammer. Now the Devil's Rejects, they got to give this one up and go clear this. Like, this has to get addressed. Diablo actually looking like he wants to go in, trying to find the pick onto the Mei. Mei's not the target you want. Wailing Arrow is popped. The silence only landing onto the Diablo. Devil's Rejects, they're trying to contest this, but I don't think they necessarily needed to. Look what's happening here in the bot lane. All these minions are having a fantastic party sieging up this keep, and this is going to be a lot of keep damage. We see the rotation now coming in. They're going to get here just in time, but, I mean, this keep lost half of its health, and the fountain died. So that's a big pickup by Brickhouse there. Not a lot gained by the side of the Devil's Rejects on that play. Unfortunate. And we do see the side of Brickhouse going up and starting to create some pressure here in the top lane. Going for the cheeky bush play so far. Everybody's kind of popping out there. They do have the Sylvanas. Sylvanas uses the passive to turn off one of these forts, both of these forts. This entire wall is going to go down. Nobody is in range for the side of the Devil's Rejects yet, but Satan Saves is here. They are on even talent tiers. He does not want to find the Mei this time. Blind going out. Zul'jin up to 20. So he needs 10 more stacks, so 50 more hits with that auto attack, and he will be sitting pretty on those 30 stacks. I may have said Diablo's Rejects. I have no idea. I apologize if I did. Devil's Rejects. Diablo's a devil, so technically Diablo's Rejects as well. But Ice Wall being popped there doesn't land onto anybody, so that's a big cooldown to fight around if you're the side of the Devil's Rejects here. Yrel gets stunned mid-jump. Diablo taking a lot of damage, not really wanting to pull, waiting for the grab bomb, and that's, I think, what they're trying to do here. Diablo just holding onto the APOC, waiting for the grab bomb to be thrown, grab bomb be thrown. He does pop the APOC now, and we see the flip. Sylvanas getting stunned out yet again, but she's able to get herself away. A two-man grab bomb in the bot lane, and Gazlo is able to find the Lily there. Tyke's going to go down as well. 3 kills by the side of the Devil's Rejects. They held on for so long and were able to get rewarded with that. This is objective picked up by the Devil's Rejects. Let's see where they can press. This is actually a really big power play. 3 kills picked up there. Great patience by the side of the Devil's Rejects. It looked like they were just kind of waiting to get that combo off. Eventually, Diablo's like, forget it, I'm pulling the trigger there. Gazlo getting a 2-man grab bomb, able to get the Lily and the Tychus down. Diablo not done, trying to find the D.Va, gonna knock her back into the team. Another hammer coming out from the Yrel. D.Va's getting knocked out here. Can they find the staggered death? Diablo gets the, oh, beautiful boop from the D.Va, saving herself. I thought Diablo was going to get the flip there. That may have been huge. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them, because if Diablo had gotten that kill on the D.Va, that would have been an even more massive power play coming into their advantage. They are pushing this keep rather heavily. Everybody's coming back online. D.Va will get herself back alive. Grab bomb actually landing onto the D.Va in the bot lane. Gazlo rotated down, and we do see the Ice Wall coming out. It doesn't land on anybody. Zul'jin, more importantly, has the 30 stacks now. We are at 30 stacks alert. We need some alarms going off here. Zul'jin now getting into scary mode, and we are seeing this keep not quite being picked up here. Man, maybe if they got the D.Va there, that would have been the keep. But unfortunately, not able to get the keep there. Gets it very low. That's still a lot of good pressure created by the Devil's Rejects. They're going to go and see if they can finish up this top fort as well, evening out this map pressure. And this is going to go down. The Brickhouse is in no position to contest this right now. So big play coming out for the Devil's Rejects here, setting themselves up to potentially take us to a game number 3. Meanwhile, we do see Brickhouse committing back to their old strat, the strat that they have been sticking to the whole game. Get the camps, get them as much as we can, create the macro pressure with the team. But now the game has gotten late. They are behind in kills. They are a little behind in experience, and that's not what they wanted to be able to create that macro pressure there. The keep is picked up by the Devil's Rejects, I'm guessing once they saw that this fort was picked up, and now it looks like they're trying to evade. So I like the aggression we're seeing out of the side of the Devil's Rejects. Even though they've been down a good chunk of this game, they've never quit, and they're getting themselves back in with some really aggressive plays coming out from this Gazlo and Diablo. Yrel getting in there for her own licks, and Zul'jin getting the stacks finished off now, so he is going to hurt, and he's going to hurt quite a lot. 20's coming online for both teams. We got the D.Va going for the Blade of Armor. Jug of 1,000,000 cups coming out from the Lily there. We do see the Bob and Weave from the Tychus going to get himself a little more safe from that Diablo engage. Ice Wall not connecting in that fight, and we do see the D.Va get stunned out here. Yrel committing the grab bomb going down, and the APOC. That is a lot of resources spent by the Devil's Rejects, and now Brickhouse can't counter engage. They have no ultimates. Yarn Defender being popped by the Yrel. The D.Va bomb going out gets the Yrel very low, but unfortunately Zul'jin is able to blind coming out huge to prevent. The Taz Dingo is popped. Zul'jin trying to get himself away, has no healer nearby, and Zul'jin gonna go down. The Yrel just running for her life there, and the Brickhouse, ooh, see how Vaughn is gonna hop over that wall and say, yes please, you are going down. D.Va not done yet. Lucio gonna get caught out here as well, gets himself bounced away. D.Va could be able to catch up with him. Diablo and Gazlo gonna run for their life. Gazlo stopping for a snack. Diablo gonna go over and see if he can keep Lucio protected. But Gazlo, you are in a very bad spot. thought that snack was a bait, and you are going to pay for it with your life. A 60-second death timer this late in the game is a rather unfortunate thing to have, and we see now that is 3 kills. Gazlo could have caught defense. This may be a core call. Again, everybody online for the side of Brickhouse. Only the Diablo and Lucio. Gazlo, if he had defended, could have... Ooh, that Gazlo may have unfortunately thrown the game. We're getting the jug of a million cups coming out. Diablo throwing that Tychus around, has to get himself away. This core is being shredded. Sylvanas not even being touched. Diablo getting stunned out here. And ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the 2-0 sweep for Brickhouse, coming in with the domination. GG's both teams. Tater plays Gazlo becoming the snack. Yeah, he stopped for a snack and became the snack. That is absolutely on point there. Holy cow, that was exciting. Like, just when it looked like the Devil's Rejects had gotten themselves back into this game, they committed to that bot fight. Like, they finally found the synergy with their ultimates, and then the bot fight, just everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for the Devil's Rejects. The Apox didn't connect. The Grav Bomb didn't hit on anybody. The synergy of those two weren't in sync on that final fight. And then once both those ultimates were popped, Brickhouses is like, dive, dive, dive. Let's go in. Let's start killing and see what we can find. They were able to get the pick onto the URL. They're able to get the pick onto the Zul'jin, and then they found the tasty snack of the Gazlo doing a camp and called the core call and ended up winning that game. Looking at these stats, Tychus coming in with the 48k damage there. Gazlo actually throwing down the 53. Zul'jin at 52 was getting there and was definitely going to scale the longer this game went. Eventually, what did he end with stacks? 43. So he got to the 43 stacks there. So he's getting going there. Yrel not quite able to soak as much as D.Va. Yrel had to commit to a little bit of a different build in that game, so wasn't able to get the double soaking going as much as she potentially wanted to. But, I mean, the story of that game was early on, the side of Brickhouse was able to get those camps and create a lot of macro pressure, especially around that first objective that they picked up. And, yeah, let's look at some of these talents here. D.Va going with the jetpacks. Hit the nitrous, gonna give the extra speed, gonna be able to get the stun there as well. Always adding more crowd control to your arsenal is a fun way to do it. Good to go. Obvious choice for the extra D.Va. We saw her getting the knockback that literally saved her life from Diablo there. So awesome decision coming out from D.Va. Lily going heavily into the dragon build, getting a little bit of extra blinds there from the Gale Force. Going to be able to, I think it's like a second or three-fourths of a second there. Tychus going for the bigger they are as well, going heavy into the minigun build this time due to the fact that we've got a Yrel and a Diablo. I mean, this minigun build is going to get so much value. Going with the bob and weave at 20, I like it just because he's going to be able to keep himself a little safer against this combination right there. If he does get himself into a sticky situation, he was able to get himself out of it. May going heavily into the icing build. I mean, pretty standard build so far. I don't typically see this one picked up too much, but I did see like the May, she was continually throwing down icing, getting herself into position, getting those knockbacks. And we saw in the early and mid game for sure, May was making play after play after play, having that reduced cooldown. So definitely providing a lot of value in that early mid game. Not so valuable in the late game, just because, you know, if May commits to a wrong fight, she can't get herself out that fast and doesn't have necessarily the self-sustain that she could get with some of the other talents. But in the mid and early game, this is a very, very good like pick kind of composition. She can get a couple picks going. Doesn't have to necessarily worry about the pain being thrown down from the Zul'jin in the early game. So was able to abuse them with that build there. Diablo going standard like he did last game. Gazlo going pretty standard. Lucio did go for the high five we saw, trying to keep the Zul'jin alive as best he can. Zul'jin going for that hyper carry twin cleave build there. And then, like I said, Yrel had to go just kind of this weird hybrid build to keep herself in that double soak contention and also be able to get to some of these camps. But yeah, that was some pretty awesome stuff there. I definitely enjoyed casting that one. Didn't expect the 2-0. I'm guessing game 3, because I I didn't want to say it, and I almost ruined it. I was like, I have 3 matches here in the replay file, but oh, how cute. Game number 3 isn't actually a game. It's a sneak. Pulled a sneaky on you. It's just a text file. How sweet. All right, so they're doing that just so I don't know how if the game went to 3 games or not. So game 3, and I completely didn't know. I hadn't opened that up at all. But funny. Well done, NGS, pulling a fast one on me. So, awesome game. I'm super stoked, and my favorite reason for doing this game is I have to still play both these teams, and I'm super scared of both these teams, man. Both those teams playing absolutely excellently, looking like it's going to be a lot of fun going up against these 2 Titans. At the number 1. So I think these teams were tied going into this match. So I think this means Brickhouse is now in the number 1 seed. Devil's Rejects there going in for claiming second place after that loss. Brickhouse having now only 1 loss, Devil Rejects having 2. Everybody laughing at me because I got trolled by NGS. Yeah, it's well deserved. But that is going to be it for me tonight. So tomorrow night, I may throw another replay cast up. I haven't decided, but all the matches for tomorrow night that I could potentially cast due to work are picked up, which is like awesome. But at the same time, that means I don't get to cast. So I may throw a replay cast up looking, maybe go find some Division E because I really enjoy what goes on in Division E. I love Division E so much. And Div E West is, I've casted them quite a bit this season, especially like last week. I think I was just in Div E West exclusively last week. So I've gotten to know a lot of those teams, and it's been a lot of fun casting them. So I think I might go try and find a Div E match in the future for tomorrow night. Maybe I'll post that to my Twitch if I end up going with that. But Tuesday night I have my own matchup at 6:00. It's against Brickhouse. I think Jason or Bonkai is casting that. I don't know which one. So if you want to watch my team get slaughtered on Tuesday night, you can go check us go head to head against Brickhouse here and watch us get absolutely stompled. And then Wednesday night, I don't cast on Wednesday nights because I work late. Thursday, I do have a cast actually picked up on Thursday night. Let me go see who that is on Thursday night. I believe it's a Division E matchup. No, I want my casts. Me. Go to me. I care about me. There it is. My cast coming up Thursday night. Oh, it is a divvy. I like this one. Deep fried Ming balls. I haven't gotten to cast them in so long, so I'm super excited that I get to go back. That's the one I was telling you guys about. You have to come watch that game because of the meme that is going to get thrown out in the beginning of the game from the Garrosh play. It is absolutely hilarious. I'm throwing the highlight back in there just so everybody can see it because it's so funny. But deep fried Ming balls going to come out and go up against Mosley and the Arcanauts as a Division E West matchup. Mosley and the Arcanauts, I casted them twice last week. Lost one to Woodley Express, beat Phoenix Rising Amethyst. So gonna come up and take on, I believe Deep Fried Bean Balls is the number 1 seed there. And then that's it going into the weekend. So yeah, that is all I have going on for the rest of that week. Deep Fried Ming Balls. Yes, it is literally their team name, and it is absolutely awesome. Like, it is so fantastic of a name, and their team icon is even better. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyway, that is going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to close out the stream, see if anybody real quick is still casting. I know NyQuil had one, but I don't believe he's still going. Nope, everybody on my list is done for the night. So I'm going to close this off. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Thank you so much for the follow. Sorry, I forgot to call it out. I mentioned Lich Queen for the sub. Thank you so much for the sub, Queenie. Tater Plays coming in with the follow. Welcome, Tater Plays, to the channel. Actually, I just noticed you were in the game. You were Sylvanas. Okay, welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy lots of HOTS action because as much as I love playing the game, I love casting it even more. Try to get at least 3 or 4 casts in a week. We will see lots of action here. So if you drop the follow, you're going to get the notification when I go live. You'll see my schedule thrown up on my Twitch. Have a blast in this channel. It's a lot of fun. Chat's usually pretty active over here, so it's an absolute blast. But thank you so much. Soul House now coming in with the follow. Thank you as well. Do appreciate all the follows and look forward to seeing you guys all here, if not tomorrow night on Thursday when we see those deep fried Ming balls going up against Mosley and his Arcanauts. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the Nexus, and I will see you tomorrow or Thursday. Good night, all.